Welcome to the Smoking Murloc. And we are live with the Smoking Murloc podcast, even though we had a little bit of a long intro segment. But at least we had some music on there, so that's something, you know.
Yeah.
So we'd like to welcome our guest Loth, also known as Loth R. Fallas, to the pilot episode of our podcast. This is technically not the first one. This is a pilot episode, so it's not the first one, you know.
Yeah, it's a little tester.
A little tester thingy.
Yeah.
So, do you want to introduce yourself? Maybe say what you do on your stream.
Me, I am a small streamer. I suppose I'm a variety streamer, and I mostly play video games. Sometimes I do stream composing because I'm a composer. I do music, and I do stream that. I have streamed it twice only, but I do want to continue doing it more. What kind of games do I play? That's a good question. And I don't really know. So.
I'll just mention one thing before we get too far into this podcast right now. We are going to be talking with chat a bit, but most of it is going to be if you have something to say about the topic.
Yeah.
So like most of the interaction aren't really going to happen like a normal stream would have, just so you don't get like
scared,
confused that we're not talking to you or something like that.
Yeah.
So should we just jump into the first subject, or should we just introduce ourselves as well? Come on, yeah.
I mean, sure. I think people already know who you are, Smokey. But
yeah.
Yeah. But I am also a small streamer. I mostly stream variety, but I would say I mostly stream competitive games such as World of Warcraft or a little bit Dead by Daylight. But other than that, I would say variety.
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess most people already know me, but I stream a lot of variety, and I usually don't. Sometimes I stream a game that I'll never finish, but like that's just how it feels on the stream, you know. If it doesn't feel right on the stream, I won't continue playing it. So I feel like we should just get straight into the topics.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'll start with the QTE one, I guess. So what do you guys feel like QTEs like? How do you feel about QTEs? Do you feel like it's necessary in video games, or do you feel like it's basically like a a mechanic just made to continue a fucking story segment in a cutscene, you know?
Would you like to start off?
Yeah.
Maybe I could. I actually quite like QTs.
Oh, I do?
QTs, yes.
QTs. Quick time events. It's
it's basically when you're in like kind of a cutscene, but you do some button presses to
press Y
to
not die.
Not die, exactly.
Press F to pay respect.
It's not really QTE, to be honest.
That's not exactly. It's like it's not as. Cool.
I know what you mean.
But yes.
Life is Strange, for example. That's one. I just finished Life is Strange, for example, and that's one quick time event game, and that's the whole genre that started to happen a lot lately. In video games such as Telltale has like made a lot of games with quick time events, where that's basically the whole ordeal. And I think a lot of like big game companies have started to copying that because it's like making cutscenes a lot more interactive rather than you're just watching a cutscene. You can also just
you can kind of play the game while you're watching the cutscene, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say like I feel like it's fine in some games where they like do the QTEs, but like not all games that actually fits in, and most of the time it just seems like an unnecessary tacked on element.
Yeah.
Instead of actually being like a proper part of the game, it just seems like, oh, there's a little cutscene here now. You can like do a little bit of work while you're doing it. I feel like usually I would rather just watch the cutscene instead of actually doing a lot of button presses. You know?
I'm kind of both way because I really like QT in a cutscene, but I don't think a boss fight should consists of only quick time events. For example, if any of you have played Halo 4.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've never played it, but I can imagine it.
Yeah. Kind of spoiler alert, but the last boss is a quick time event.
Yeah.
And that really ruins the mood when you're like...
I feel like there's a lot of games where they actually do it. You can even see like Far Cry 3, they had like multiple... they at least had Vars, I'm pretty sure, where you did like a quick time event to kill him.
Yeah. And
so
that, in my opinion, that kind of really ruins the...
It kind of ruins the vibe, but like I feel like a what's it called, a boss fight with Vars would have been difficult to make without you just shooting him a couple of times to the head and then he'll be done, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because he is still human.
Yeah.
I mean, I
but
guess
at
you
least
could
like take him out in the stealth mission. That would also been really cool.
Yeah.
Or finally take him down and he dies in the cutscene.
But you could also, you could also like do the whole thing that they did with the drug sections or whatever you would call it, where they like made a huge boss instead, you know? So maybe he would like drug you, he would like surprise you, somewhat drug you, and then he's like this big, huge thingamajig, you know, instead of being just a normal human being.
No.
I mean, it could work.
Yeah, but that kind of reminds me of Batman. Like, you know, Batman Arkham Asylum, where Joker ended up being like a big, muscular...
Yeah, but it's not really the same in my opinion. Because when you look at the way Batman did it, Batman basically made the Joker the big muscly guy. This, what I'm talking about, is making the character you are playing believe you're against this big muscly guy or this big god-like creature, you know? Because I really do feel like there's a difference between like thinking, like actually having a character that completely does a radical change in the way they work, compared to just making someone huge because your character is taking some drugs or something like that, you know?
But that's the thing, because in a way I like quick time events because it makes it more interactive in a cutscene. But don't make a boss fight out of a quick time events.
No. I mean, at least not a final boss fight, I would say.
Yeah.
Because, like, final boss fights, that's the worst way to do a final boss fight.
I mean, it's fine if the game is already surrounded by quick time events, but if the game has no quick time events whatsoever, and the last boss got like
just only quick time events.
Then it makes no sense for me, because what's the point of having a quick time events where there's literally nowhere near any quick time events before that?
Yeah, I mean that's actually another thing I like quick time events wise. It's like if you look at Far Cry, when you get like attacked by a crocodile or something like that, like you have to mash a button to get out of it. I feel like quick time events like those are actually fine.
Because I do agree with that.
You're basically just in a situation that you wouldn't be able to get out of, except like with any gameplay mechanics, you wouldn't be able to get out because you're caught by this big ass alligator, you know, or crocodile or whatever it is. You know?
Yeah.
It's the same like dodging falling ice, and that's in a climbing sequence, and Tomb Raider, and that's good application for QTs, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
in
a good
stressful situation where you just don't have to rely on your gamer skill as much as you would.
Yeah,
just have to mash buttons.
I mean, it works. Like Tomb Raider does it decent at least. Compared to many other games, because Tomb Raider, like, they actually made a deal out of it being cut a lot of quick time events as well. Like, it was in the game, you know. Instead of just being, now we have a final boss fight or this one sequence where it needs quick time events.
But again, I just don't think a boss fight needs quick time events. I mean, the only point I would say a boss fight would need quick time events would be the same as Love says. Like, let's say you're climbing up of a wall or something, and there's like rocks falling down at you or something like that, and you have to like get away to get to the last boss, but don't like press X to hit him this and press X to hit him that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like Mortal Kombat has implemented quick time events in their video game, and that's mostly just to make like a little bit more interactive when you're playing the story mode.
Yeah.
Which is decent enough, but it's kind of unnecessary, because when you're playing story mode, you're just there for the story, not really for the gameplay ish, I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
I feel
I
like
mean, you don't.
like in a fighting game, it also makes more sense because you're
Yeah,
like utilizing
yeah.
all the buttons already to do random shit, you know.
Yeah,
So like it could make sense to actually have quick time events because usually you're also playing on a controller.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like controller games, like more like console exclusive games, makes a lot of sense in doing quick time events usually.
yeah.
I mean, at least some of them, you know. Like God of War, that makes sense.
And God of War is like, as I said before, like for example, Halo. I hate the fact that the last boss was quick time events, but Halo, not Halo. God of War has like a lot of quick time events things,
Yeah.
such as ripping out an eye of uh, Cyclops or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine in my opinion, but don't implement it if you don't have it in before.
Yeah, of course. Like if you just put it in to put it in, like in a last boss fight, it doesn't really make any sense, anyways.
Yeah,
So why even do it? But like, yeah, as you're saying, like if you already have like a track record of saying like, for example, God of War, there's a lot of quick time events already. Like you can easily do it. Or it can at least make sense most of the time. And also, God of War is also something different because it's like huge bosses. Like how would you in God of War kill one of these huge titans or something like that without a quick time event? You know,
yeah,
the game is just not really made that way.
no,
Because you could also look like a game like Shadow of the Colossus. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any quick time events from what I've seen.
no. I think
Maybe only
it's-
to hang on or some shit like that.
Yeah,
but you
I
don't
think
really-
that's the thing. But that's also like you implemented before, like it puts a mechanic that you normally wouldn't be able to do before. For example, holding onto hair. Let's
Yeah.
again talk about Shadow of Colossus. Like I think there's a quick time event, like you have to press a button when you need to grab onto hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that implements another mechanic that you wouldn't be able to do before. Like
Yeah.
it's not like you couldn't shoot the boss beforehand in Halo.
But it's also
Without-
like
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus is a good like view on a game where it doesn't need quick time events most of the time because the gameplay is focused around you climbing these behemoths, you know,
Yeah,
and like trying to kill them and stuff like that. So the gameplay mechanics already in there, without like having to do quick time events and stuff like that.
yeah,
So that already works.
yeah.
Is there any other game where you feel like you have had a quick time event that doesn't make any sense? Or do you
I want to say Life is Strange because
wait? There's quick time events in that?
kinda like the whole traveling back in time.
That's not really a quick time event though.
I mean, when you were about to, I mean, kinda. Telltale games, then there's quick time
Yeah.
events in that.
But I mean, that's also because there's no gameplay in it technically. The only gameplay there is
know,
just you
but-
walking around.
But that's literally just a gameplay. Then you clicking stuff. That's just like watching a movie, but you press X.
Alright, let's look at Lynn's message here. I don't like quick time events when they suddenly throw them at you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're watching a cutscene, like, then you can see the screen is turning into a little bit more scuffed, and then press X now for some unknown reason.
You're just relaxing back on the chair like this.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not nice.
I have to like almost like I don't know. It's just so annoying when you also when you don't expect it. You know, like you're just watching a cutscene, like Lots is saying, like, and suddenly
Someone
there's a
bursts
quick
through
time
window
event.
and, "Ah!"
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
it's just so annoying if you're like just put the controller down or something like that, because
Yeah.
there's a high probability of you like failing the quick time event then, because
Yeah.
you don't know you had to do it.
Yeah.
What games do you have? Any games that you would say like, oh, this is done really well, like except for like God of War and stuff like that?
I mean, Love has already mentioned it, but Tomb Raider really.
Yeah.
But then again, then you can also say, what's the game called for PlayStation, where you play Nathan? What's it called?
Oh, what's it called again? Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted. That's basically the same as Tomb Raider, but
Yeah, I mean
that's also really cool
Go ahead.
ones. That's also really cool quick time events.
Yeah, but that's also because he's always doing this like insane shit, you know, like doing this
Yeah.
all this jumping from planes and stuff like that, like exploring ancient ruins. Like sometimes a quick time event just makes sense because you wouldn't be able to do it gameplay wise, anyways. I mean, I also feel
don't-
like I played I remember playing like the third of the Naruto Shippuden games, or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
And like that had quick time events. The thing I hated about those is the fact that you were judged by like how well you did in
Yeah.
them. That was super annoying. But like the quick time events kind of made sense anyways,
Yeah.
because you were kind of doing all this weird shit you wouldn't be able to do in game. And like most of the game is about like making you play the game and doing the stuff you need to do, you know. So I feel like that would work fine if they just didn't have the grading system in there.
That I agree on. Yeah, like in that's kind of the same thing about in Mortal Kombat. I think I kind of glad you took out in in Justice 1. It's where they introduced quick time events and cutscenes, which were kind of hit or miss in my opinion. But if you ended up missing quick time events, you literally lost HP in the next fight.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, kind of sucked, because if you weren't really ready for the quick time event,
Yeah.
it's literally just mean, oh, you're having disadvantage now.
Yeah, if you didn't understand it, you know.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing Injustice, and like, I remember not understanding all of it.
Yeah.
Like, there was one quick time event that I didn't understand at all, and I just ended up losing a bunch of HP because I didn't know what to do. You know.
Yeah, then you end up in a really big disadvantage for probably the last fight of the chapter, which is also the hardest chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be good design.
No. So I think that's also the reason why they ended up removing it. But
Yeah.
now it just feels like it doesn't matter if you lose it or not. It's like either you hit this guy or he hits you in the face, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next topic?
Oh, sure.
Because I feel like we don't have much left to talk about.
Well, Dead by Daylight is also where it's done.
Yeah.
With some events, and it's done quite well, since it keeps up the tension of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of just you running around and just annoy the killer, you're literally.
I mean, again, it adds some gameplay
Tension.
mechanics that doesn't really like, because if that gameplay mechanic wouldn't be there, it wouldn't be as tense. Because like you wouldn't have to keep looking around and keep focusing on your screen and stuff like that.
And that's
You'd
the
have-
kind of thing about quick time events that like a little bit more skill helps you. For example, now I'm just gonna go all nerd on Dead by Daylight. There's a skill called Decisive Strike, which basically mean you get when a killer picks you up, you get a little quick time event that makes you able to stab him in the back and he drops you,
Yeah.
and that encourages skills
Yeah.
rather than just a quick time event, just like, oh, you can hit him by pressing X, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like if you like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it also adds like the whole thing, like if you level up, you get better, kinda.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have better skills when you leveled up, it would all just be pointless in the end. Like,
Yeah.
if it was all just like passive stats and shit like that.
Love is Common kind of reminded me of another game called Gears of War that's just got at least a fifth one.
Yeah.
And they have a quick time event similar to Dead by Daylight where you can reload your gun quite faster by hitting the like little soft spot
Yeah.
while reloading, and that
The
again
active
encourage-
reload.
that encourages skill and precision for like faster reload rather than if you miss it, it takes you like 2 seconds longer to reload.
Other games have actually expanded on the idea where they're like, oh, if you hit this little area, you'll actually get like a more gun damage or like a bigger magazine or stuff like that. So some
I
games
don't
take it
think-
even further.
But I don't think you need to take it further than just reloading faster. Like,
It really
doesn't-
depends on the game, to be honest. Like, if
I mean,
it's just
if
a
it-
basic as shooter, no,
Yeah,
don't
I
do
know.
it. But if
Yeah.
it's like, let's look at like something like Shadow Warrior. I don't think they have it, but like, that game is so bonkers, anyways. Why not throw that in there? You know?
if the game's really arcadey, I would say, then have it like do more damage or you get more shots. But let's
Exactly.
like in the game of Gears of War, it wouldn't make sense that your gun somehow now deals a lot more damage just
No.
because you get a skill check a little bit better.
No, exactly.
But yeah, Loth, do you think you should always be the hero of the story?
Look at like, for example, look
It
at
would be
Skyrim.
nice.
But like, do you think you should always be like this completely powerful entity that just does all the things in the story? You know? Because I feel like in most games you end up being this like look at Skyrim, okay? If you look at all the guilds you join, you can join all of them. Like, none of them exclude you from any of the other ones. You can be in the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, and you can still be in the College of Winterhold, you know? Like,
I can be hero of all of them.
Yeah, you're like hero of everything in that game. Like, there's basically nothing being done without you. Like, do you feel like that's a good thing in games? Or do you feel like you'd rather maybe be a little bit more... In some games, like, it doesn't have to be every game that you're not the hero of, but like... Because me and Kamani had this discussion about World of Warcraft, and I had kind of a skewed view on it, because I haven't played it that much. But I felt a lot like you were always there when the big things in the story happened, you know?
Where I'm totally different, because you don't choose to be there. You can choose to go... Okay, let's talk about World of Warcraft, for example. You can choose not to go to the dungeon, you can choose not to go to the raid. It doesn't make sense whether you are there or not.
But I just feel like in the end you always choose to go there. Like,
in a way, yeah. But,
unless it's an old expansion or something like that, because there's always loot and there's always good stuff in there. Like, why not just go there? So most people end up going there anyways, and they end up being in the center of this whole thing that's going on.
But you also kind of have to expect that you have to train up to be there. You literally go into quote-unquote dungeons, held your faction so much that you're strong enough to be there, in my opinion. So you work yourself up to there instead of, for example, Skyrim, where you just, I want to join this, cool.
Well, you still have to work in Skyrim, though. Like, you also work up to be there. Like, it's not like in the Dark Brotherhood, you just come in and you're just like the head assassin in the beginning. Because when you start out in the Dark Brotherhood, it's basically like, go kill this baker almost. Because there's actually a mission where you kill a baker. Like, I would almost say, like, mentally disadvantaged baker that you kill him, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're the big head assassin right there. You do get to do some big assassinations, but like most of the beginning is basically just you doing their dirty work anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like in most games you do that work anyways, but like I just feel like you shouldn't be... I mean, it's okay in some games, but I just feel like there's a lot of games where you end up being like this big hero who does everything, you know?
Yeah, that's also what I don't get, because something like, can you go over and kill those murlocs for me? For example, like...
Kill 20 murlocs.
Yeah, kill 20 murlocs. Like, why should I kill 20 murlocs while you already have, like, big fucking gear on and, like, a super big sword, and while I'm literally wearing a fucking stick I found out in the shit over there?
Well, that's because you're the peasant, you know? You're the little small boy. He wants you to do his dirty work.
Yeah, but...
You're not a hero yet, you know? You don't have anything to say for yourself. You can't just say, like, oh, I'm this big guy, because you're not. You're just a little small peasant.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a learning experience.
Yeah.
So
the thing about what I said about World of Warcraft, you're not really the big guy, because you're not the guy who had, like, giving the killing blow on the quote-unquote bosses. I think there's one boss in World of Warcraft where you're actually the hero who does the killing blow.
No, but like in World of Warcraft, you're not like the big hero of everything, but you're still like always there in the middle of these things that are happening.
Yeah, but so is like, for example, let's talk about a movie like Lord of the Rings. There's always soldiers there. Like, it's not just Legolas.
No, but you
Aragorn.
see the same soldier in every single battle.
If they survive, they're probably going to be at the next battle as well.
Yeah, but like the whole thing about World of Warcraft is usually in the raids and stuff like that, you don't see like an entire army of soldiers. You see like a group of like 20 people or some shit like that.
I mean,
so like suddenly you
see that later, yeah.
But like usually if you look at the earlier expansions, it's basically like a little group of people almost who kill these guys always. Whereas if you look at something like Lord of the Rings, it's like huge armies, and like the same guy almost wouldn't be there every single time.
Yeah, but now you have to expect the game is from 2005, and I don't expect them to have 100 NPCs plus 40 players.
No, but you can still see the idea, right?
Yeah, I can see the idea 100%, but I think in game sense it wouldn't make sense at that time. Like in newer raids right now, you can see there's also soldiers and others.
But I mean, you could always say if they wanted it to be these huge battles. They could have toned down the graphics or toned down some other aspects, like made it like more optimized, so they could have all these soldiers and just like make the graphics worse. Right? Do you want me to read Vindy's thing he just wrote?
The way I interpreted World of Warcraft is that you're canonically your class main protagonist, but you weren't that into Legion. And Legion is where I think Jens is starting to be right.
That's the thing that really ticked me off. Is the whole like, oh, you have this special weapon that no one else has.
That's the thing I hate in Legion.
It's the mark
Where
of the hero.
Then you became the hero, in my opinion. Before that, you were just like people are starting to know you. You're starting to really help everyone, kind of thing. And in Legion, you literally you become high priest. You become druid of the dream. You become basically everything. Every fucking
title under the sun.
Yeah. You literally become the biggest one of all.
That's the problem I have. Like, I mean, I feel like it's okay in some games, but I feel like a lot of games do it recently.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you're the big guy. I feel like games that do it right are like Saints Row, because it's kind of a good. It's kind of a good way. What did you say, Loth?
Witcher 3 is also very good. How it's done, how it's all grey.
I mean, in Witcher 3, you're literally a strong, independent person.
Yeah.
You're not seen as the big hero. You're seen as a Witcher.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you're actually like kind of scum of the earth almost.
Yeah, exactly.
No one really likes the Witcher.
Heroism is extremely subjective to, and if you continue to kill this or kill that or spare someone's life, it's gonna affect someone negatively anyway. So.
But that's why I like the Witcher idea more than I like the Skyrim idea, you know?
Yeah.
Because in Skyrim, you can do nothing wrong, basically. Like, even the guards on your side, if you're, like, in the Dark Brotherhood on the Thieves Guild, they're like, if you're in the Dark Brotherhood, they say, I know you, hail Sithith, or something like that, right? And Sithith is, like, the death god of the whole Elder Scrolls series, you know?
Yeah, that's also the thing, like, you're literally, in Skyrim, you're literally the chosen one from the beginning, rather you join this, and this, and this. While in Witcher, you're literally a hated person while also being the hero.
Yeah,
while people don't expect you to be the hero.
It's a different setting.
I mean, you're not always the hero, I'm pretty sure. Isn't there, like, some mass murder you kind of commit or something like that? Or, like, some people think you committed it or some shit?
Yeah.
I don't really remember what it was, because I haven't played all of them. But I'm pretty sure you do some bad shit sometimes.
Something I also kind of like in the new World of Warcraft, that you can choose whether or not to which side you're on. Horde side. I mean, Alliance didn't really do that because Horde gets a special treatment apparently. But you can choose whether or not you support the Resistance or you support the current Horde, aka Sylvanas' Horde.
Yeah.
And even though, like, kind of spoiler from the new cinematic, but even though Sylvanas ended up saying she's not really following the Horde, you can still follow her Resistance or her Horde. You still follow her, even though but that's the thing, you're still part of the other Horde, even though you're Joe Sauer. But still, it's kind of nice thing that World of Warcraft that finally make you able to choose whether or not you're, for example, in Mr. Pandaria, when Garrosh turned out to be evil and he wanted to like make the Horde orcs only, you weren't able to choose to be on his side, even though it's basically the same premise right now.
Well, I mean, I guess that's also because it takes a lot of work to do that, you know? Because you have to do a completely different storyline almost.
Yeah.
Maybe even with different cinematics. But like, I don't think that should be a reason not to do it.
But they were able to do it back then. It wasn't that many years ago that Mr. Pandaria came out. I think just a little bit more choices would help in games like MMOs.
It could be nice to actually like choose which side you are, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, oh, you chose this race, now you're just this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and there's also like look at Final Fantasy, for example. You're always the good guy in that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't even choose to be a bad guy, like not even close. You always follow the same quest lines, you always like do the same things, you know? But I feel like that's also a different approach to it.
Yeah.
Because WoW is more like there's like two sides in WoW, you know, and in most other MMOs there's usually one side with PvP elements in that one side.
Yeah. This kind of thing why I like the older Fallout more than I like the newer ones.
Yeah.
Like, people say in Fallout 4 Brotherhood of Steel are evil.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say so.
I mean, I feel like everyone in in Fallout are evil at some point, you know? Like, there's none of them that are really good guys. Like, even the NCR are pretty scummy.
Oh, that's Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, yeah, but like, you know, just like the good guys.
Oh, yeah. In Fallout New Vegas, let's just talk about that. There is, I wouldn't say there's a necessary good ending. Like, everything is either, I would say, neutral or
bad.
Or bad. Of course, the Legion is the bad one.
Yeah.
Because literally they want to torture and enslave people.
Yeah. That's pretty much like bad guys. But like, I don't feel like the NCR are really like good guys either.
No, it's like a big military.
And if you look at fucking Mr. House, he's not really a good guy either. He's like...
Yeah.
He just want to take over everything, it seems.
And I know you guys probably haven't played Fallout 1 or 2, but you were able to... In Fallout 1, you were able to either save... The whole game is that you have to save your vault.
Yeah, so you have to find like the water chip or whatever it's called.
Yeah. You find that, but you still need to save it because now people know that it's open.
Oh, okay.
So now they want it because there's so much shit in there.
Yeah.
So they end up... so the super mutants are like under a creator called the Master. And you can choose to side with him and become a super mutant yourself, which of course ends the game because you can't really control yourself when you're
play
under
as a
control.
super mutant.
Yeah. Which ends the game, and that's the bad ending. While you can also choose to like defeat the Master and like have the good ending.
Yeah, it's like you can even look at something like fucking Far Cry 4, I'm pretty sure it's called.
Yeah.
The one where you're in the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah,
you can choose, like, you have your, like, dad guy, whatever he is, like, or your dad's brother or some shit like that, I don't remember. And he's like this evil dictator, but you can, like, choose, he says, like, oh, if you just stay with me, you'll get a nice meal, and we'll go spread your mother's ashes, because that's what the whole game is about.
And that's ends the game. You literally choose to stay with his side, even though you know he's, like, torturing a guy in another room.
Yeah, you just choose, like, the easy way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, instead of going out and doing all this hard stuff, you just say, hey, fuck it, you know, he's gonna help me. And he's not bad to you either. He even, like, kills a soldier because he shot at the bus you were in. Or something like that.
I think a game that makes a morally choices really good is Injustice.
Injustice?
No, not Injustice. What's Infamous?
Oh, Infamous, yeah.
Yeah. You can literally choose whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, and it influences your powers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And also, another good thing I think is I don't know if you guys played Bioshock 1 and 2.
Yes.
I know
I did.
1.
Yeah.
I know the ending, but I don't remember the ending to 2 though.
Yeah, but Fluff probably knows you can sacrifice girls, or you can.
I know that.
And you don't sacrifice girls. And sacrificing girls, of course, makes you stronger because you get some shit out of it.
You get the stuff from you get the little parasite that's in them.
Yeah, but again, you're sacrificing girls.
You're killing living human beings.
Yeah.
And there's also, I remember the ending also changed based on that, whether you like sacrifice them or not. And I feel like that's a cool mechanic, because like, if you sacrifice them, you're literally the bad guy, kinda. Even though you're killing the bigger bad guy, you know, in the end.
Yeah, and
you're
then
still the bad
literally,
guy.
Endings.
Yeah, then literally fucks with your morals because you wanna finish the game.
Strong.
Yeah, you wanna be strong.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a video game. You wanna do this so you can be stronger. But you're literally killing like 8-year-olds to become stronger.
It's pretty fucked.
There's also another game. I haven't really played it, but I've watched a little bit of it, called Vampire.
Yeah.
It's the same premise. You can kill innocent people. You can end up knowing them a lot better. You can like see, oh, he seems kind of scummy. Let me learn a little bit more of him because he seems like a scum.
Mm.
And you end up learning that he's a scum because his wife just died, his kids just died, something like that. And the more you learn about him, the more XP it gives you.
Yeah, when you kill him, right? Or
yeah,
drain
but
his
the
blood.
more, but the more you learn about him, the more you learn that he's not actually a bad guy. He's just an
Just making
misunderstood
ends
guy.
meet.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
and
mean, that's also like a good way of doing it, kinda. I also feel
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the more you get to know them, like the bigger the thing you get from them.
yeah,
Because like that also makes it kind of a moral choice. Because like you keep getting to know this person better and better and helping them and stuff like that.
yeah,
But in the end, you'll have to like kill another human being to further your agenda.
but that's the thing. You don't need to kill a human. You can choose the entire game of not killing any of the innocent humans.
Yeah, but I meant like to get stronger.
Oh yeah. You can get stronger. Of course, it's the same premise with Bioshock. You
Yeah.
can kill this person to get stronger, but it fucks with your morally choices.
And of course, there's some people that's not gonna mind anyways, and like don't care about the bad ending and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
You
like,
don't get the nice ending.
what?
You don't get the nice ending if you
Yeah, of
Sacrifice.
course.
No, but like, there's some people who don't care about that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's just some people who are like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like, give me the bad ending. Who the fuck cares, you know?
Yeah, Max is gonna die anyways. Who cares?
That's something else, you know that.
nice.
That's also a joke.
I know, but still. But yeah,
I don't know. Like, I mean, we can also like talk about Life is Strange a bit up to like a certain point, because like I haven't played the entire thing yet.
do you
That's
think
also,
you're
like-
the hero of the story in Life is Strange?
No, are you kidding me? You're like the hugest douche almost. You're trying to save people, but you're such a douche. You like hang out with Chloe, and she's like the biggest bitch of the whole game. Like, there's even a point where she can shoot herself by accident because she's so fucking dumb. Like, I feel like if you were actually like a true hero of that game, you wouldn't hang out with Chloe.
Yeah. Let's say
Does
you
she
don't
just-
hang out with Chloe.
Yeah, if you hang
You
out
still-
with Chloe and like help all these people who need help, like sure.
But how would you help the people? Do you travel back in time to make sure you say the right thing? Because
you
that also
I mean,
that means you're misusing your powers to benefit your.
not entirely agree on that one. Because like you can also go back in time and change your answers based on like, how do you say it?
What you just said.
No, like if you think about it, right? For example, let's say you want to cover for Kate or something like that, or you want to
Yeah.
like make sure she gets a good thing out of what she was doing, you know.
Yeah.
You'd go back in time and say something different because you know she will maybe feel better or like do something better than what you just told her. I
But
don't
that's
feel like
misusing your powers.
I don't believe that's misusing your powers. Like, what else would you use your powers for? You're saving a human being one way or another. Like, what's
Yeah,
what's
but
the
you're still
difference?
fucking up time because of it. Each time you go back
Well,
in time, it fucks
if-
up the time even more.
If you have time powers, what's the point of using them if everything you do is just misusing them?
Isn't it misusing it to make sure that you're talking correctly to a person?
I don't believe it is. You have the powers anyways.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a huge difference between like. I mean, now I don't know how they affect the like story of the game by rewinding time. I'm pretty sure I know some of it, like how it fucks up everything. But like, from her point of view, she isn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, from her point of view, yeah, she doesn't
Yeah,
know.
but what
she's-
other point of view is there? Like,
morally, yeah. I mean,
but like, if no one knew that what you do is wrong,
yeah.
that's basically like that's the same as like putting leeches on your skin in the Middle Ages and say, "Oh, this will help me," because you think this will help you, but it wasn't. It doesn't mean like you're a fucking huge idiot because you're doing it. This just means you don't know better.
But you're literally seeing that. You just.
You talk about in the third episode where the whole time fucks up because you're rewinding time when Kate is trying to kill herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. When you see that, you might want to say, "Oh shit, what am I doing this the right way? Am I fucking up everything?"
Yeah.
And like, yeah, sure, that might be a way to do it. But like, I don't know. From the perspective of not knowing that you're doing anything wrong with your powers, I don't believe it's misusing. Because misusing, in my opinion, would be that you know what you're doing is wrong, and you keep doing it.
Like keeping a person alive that should be dead.
But you have time travel powers, then they shouldn't be dead. then you have the power to decide whether or not they should be dead, technically.
Yeah, but that also fucks up time. If a person is
Depends on what kind of time theory you're going for.
chaos theory,
I don't know the chaos theory. I know it's a thing in the game, but like
the whole game is around the chaos theory.
yeah, I know, but I don't know that theory, so I can't speak out about it. I'm just talking about like usually if you don't know what you're doing is a problem, you're not really misusing what you're doing. Let's say her time travel thing affected the world she's in by nothing. You know, it did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, is she still misusing her powers by saving someone?
Depends on how she's saving it. You don't save a person just by going back in time to make sure you say yes instead of no.
I disagree. To be honest, I just feel like if you could change your like how someone ends up, like let's say you say something wrong to Kate in the game, right? And she ends up killing herself by it. Do you still think it's a misuse to go back and say something else?
No, that's saving someone else's life.
But yeah, that's what I'm meaning. That's what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about saving other people.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, going back in time to make sure that you set the right answer to Jefferson. That's using your power. Like, it wouldn't change whether or not you knew the answer he told you right after, and you go back in time and tell the exact same thing he told you.
I mean, oh yeah, if you're talking about the whole, he says
First
like
episode.
a quote to you. Yeah, he says a quote to you, and he's like,
That's
and you say,
misusing your power.
I mean, I'll agree on that one though.
Yeah, that's misusing your power just to have a...
Just have a favorable outcome for yourself.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but the whole thing I was talking about is helping others. Like, you say something different to help another person.
You saving Kate, that if her... You were meant to be up there, in my opinion. You were meant to saving Kate. But you weren't meant to save Chloe. There's multiple times where she could have been dead, and the game really wants her to be dead. Like, just in episode 2, I think she dies like 2 times there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of it actually happens. Yeah, virtually, this is Life is Strange we're talking about.
Yeah.
Most of it actually happens because you're doing this shit with her, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's just... I mean, I know it's kind of a spoiler, right? If you don't want Life is Strange spoilers, you should mute for a little bit. Remember when she shoots herself on the car, the bumper, right? That's her being a fucking asshole. And, like, you saving her... Like, it wasn't meant to happen if you didn't have these powers in the beginning, because she wouldn't be shooting all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
So her dying is actually a consequence of you time traveling. I mean, she would have been dead anyways, but... Let's say you save her once, or something like that.
Her fate was to die there in the beginning, in my opinion. Because just a day after, there's snow in fucking summer. In midsummer, there's snow.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know the chaos theory enough, but like, if you used any other kind of time travel theory, I'm pretty sure you would like get different results, because some of it, it's talking about parallel universes, you know, where every time you go back in time and change something, it makes a different parallel universe.
Yeah.
Or like, at least every time there's a choice and you have multiple choices, every one of those choices will get a new universe, you know. And like, if you're talking that theory, I don't think you're changing fate. I think you're just going into the other alternative universe, you know.
But you're still leaving a universe completely ruined.
No, but it will be ruined anyways.
It makes no sense to you, of course.
No, like, what I'm talking about is if you're using a different time theory instead of the whole chaos theory.
Yeah. Let's say let's say just because you time travel, you go into a different universe. That means you fucked up another universe and just like, oh fuck this place, I'm going on to another.
Not really, because that will still happen.
Yeah, that will still happen. You just go back in time and join another.
You make an alternate universe technically.
Yeah, but there's still okay. Kind of spoiler from Endgame, but when you change one universe, the other universe also gets affected by it. Like it's not.
Makes sense.
It depends on the time travel theory again, because like time travel is so like we don't even time travel right now, so there's no way of knowing what will actually happen.
But what you're talking about, when you time travel, you go into another alternative
you
universe.
basically just make a new branch.
Yeah.
Because you're changing what happened in this other branch.
But what happens in your theory? What happens to the other branch?
The first one?
Yeah. Does it just disappear?
No, it just keeps going without you and without Chloe, I guess, because she's dead.
Yeah.
So you kind of just disappear from the universe, and the other branch just keeps going as if you disappeared and Chloe has died.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on. I think we derailed this way too much.
Yeah, let's get to time travel.
Yeah. Me and Jens confusing our viewers about time travel.
I mean, this podcast is about discussing stuff. Like, it's not like it's only about just us talking about random everyday shit, you know?
I just think no matter that you travel back in time or not, that you're
should we stop this?
I know, but you're doing something bad.
Yeah, and that's an okay idea to have.
Yeah.
Time travel bad.
Is there anything else we should talk about in whether or not you should be the hero? Like, is there any game you want to mention about this thing?
I was going to talk about Bioshock, but well, that was already covered.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
And Witcher as well.
Yeah.
What other games do I really like? I mean, you have a game like Bastion, I guess. I don't completely remember what happened in it, but I remember all of it was the fault of one of like the societies that was in there. And it's basically it's actually also a time travel game, but let's not get into that. I mean, it's a more basic time travel. But like that's also about like you are technically the hero, but like you're also kind of a bad guy as far as I remember.
It's very subjective.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of betrayal happens in that game and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that also reminds me and Jens were playing the new Breakpoint beta. Are you the hero because you're killing evil guys? But
I mean, I would say like they're like trying to make technology that can like take over the entire world. So I do believe you are kind of the good guy in some aspects, unless the government just takes that technology and uses it for themselves.
But civilians there, literally just seeing a lot of people getting slaughtered.
But they're also working on a really horrible project that might take over the entire world and just enslave them anyways. So you think killing I feel like what's that Star Trek quote? Like the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. That's what I believe. So I don't believe that just because a couple of innocent civilians gets like hurt or like seen some shit they shouldn't see, I don't believe like you're the bad guy entirely. I mean, there's a moral gray zone anyways. You're not always going to be the good guy, but like you're still not really a bad guy in that sense. Like you're not the one developing technology to enslave the entire world or being like this big PMC corporation, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me of another game.
Yep, sure, fine.
Specs Up the Line.
Oh yeah, that's a really like I haven't actually played that.
Okay, if any of you guys haven't played Spec Off the Line, spoiler alert.
Can we just take a quick moment because Virtue said something?
Okay.
He said the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few, justifies tyranny against small groups of people.
Yeah.
I don't honestly believe that. Like, because it depends on the situation. You could say that, yeah, sure, but like, there's also situations where you're like saying, oh, let's say this meteor is gonna hit Earth, right? Would you rather want it to hit a huge city or a small city?
Yeah.
It's the classic train trap.
I believe that you should save more people and you shouldn't weigh it on like, because you couldn't even weigh it on human like, how do you say it, like what the humans are capable of, because you can't. It will take too long. If a meteor is gonna hit Earth, for example, you'd have to just choose. Oh, it's gonna hit a small place or a big place, you know?
Yeah.
And I would say hit the small place because you save more people.
Just the train hit the boat. Yeah.
Yeah. So
multi-track drifting.
Spec Off the Line. The game is literally a typical shooter. Like you go around shooting some bad guys, of course. the more you play the game, the more you find out that it actually you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're invading innocent people.
Yeah. Innocent
Literally-
civilians are getting killed
Yeah.
by like horrible methods and like getting
Yeah.
burned alive and shit like that.
Yeah, they're literally being burned out by napalm. And you're literally seeing yourself as the good guy. That even the American people come over to you to arrest you in the end.
Yeah.
While you're in your head, you've been the good guy all along. Like you saved that guy. You ended up killing the big evil guy who was the bad guy all along.
Yeah.
Even though that person has been dead all along. When you find him, you're literally creating your own story in your head to make yourself self seem like the good guy. And that's what happened in that game, basically.
That's why I like Spec Ops: The Line, because it's a more
Yeah.
realistic approach to everything. Instead of it just being, oh, you're this huge good guy who just can't do anything wrong, you're like killing innocent civilians or like indirectly killing them. I guess I don't really know how it happens in the game because I haven't played it. And I mean,
But,
you could also look at like war crimes. You know, I know in Homeland, do you guys know that game? It wasn't that good, well received.
Yeah.
And there's a point where you use white phosphorus to burn out the North Korean, what they're called, like the people who have like taken over the U.S. You use white phosphorus, and if you don't know, that's a horrible war weapon, which like it burns you horribly and absolutely kills you. And there's even an achievement in the game for not shooting any of the people who are getting burned out because they believe they deserve it.
Wow.
So it's a pretty horrible way of looking at it, but you're still kind of the good guy in Homeland because the North Koreans have taken over the entirety of the U.S.
Yeah. Can I ask you a thing? You played the game Last of Us, right?
Not all of it, no, not at all. I haven't.
What
played
about
it
you,
all.
Love?
No, I haven't.
So neither of you know the ending.
No.
Yeah. You
I don't
can
know.
spoil it to me.
No,
at least.
don't
I
spoil it.
care.
You can't spoil it because I don't want to play it.
I don't.
I was just gonna ask you, are you the good or the bad guy? But if neither of you have played it,
I feel like it makes more sense if we had actually played it,
Sorry.
yeah.
to be honest.
So yeah. If you believe in the needs of many outweighs the needs of few, you're willing to take actions to sacrifice a few for the many that you can believe in equal rights. That's the thing. If you're able to save as many as possible, it helps to sacrifice a small amount.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see the problem in that.
Too much Billie Eilish.
Sorry.
Peter Eilish.
Like, I don't see anything wrong with sacrificing a small group of people to save more people. Like, I
Depends
don't
on
know.
the circumstances that are going
Like,
along.
I just don't feel like you should. What you're saying, people that live in X place have lives that are worth less. No, I don't say they're worth less. I'm just saying there's less of them. So if you take it up in like a completely statistical thing, and take into account nothing of what they're doing, you just take, oh, here's 10 people and here's 100 people. Would you rather have 100 people die? I'm not saying they're worth less. I'm saying they're less.
Reminds me of is like the what's it called, the dilemma. Would you pull the lever to kill one guy? Like, let's say a train is coming. There's 5 people standing on the rails, and you can pull the lever, and it's only going to kill one person.
Yeah.
You're the person who ends up killing that one person because you are the one who choose to pull that lever. But you end up saving 5 people. But if you don't pull it, you're not the killer. Then you literally did nothing wrong.
I don't believe you're the killer if you save multiple people doing it. Not
But
in the same way as a normal killer.
You're literally the fault because you pulled the lever.
I don't believe that because you're not the reason why the train is going fast. Or like trying to kill people anyways. You're not the reason why they're lying there. That's not you. You didn't do it.
No. But you have to choose to whether or not you killed a guy or not.
Yeah, but also, do you know what's it called? It's something like if someone dies because of you not doing anything, you can get charged for it as well.
Yeah.
That's like a real sentence you can get. For example, if you know first aid and you're not helping someone who has a heart attack, you can get charged for it. It's the exact same thing. If you would technically kill 5 people then.
But if you're intervene your conscious act. Multi-track drift.
My goodness.
Yeah. just train and kill all of them.
Kiara, the thing you're talking about right now is the thing I told you that I was not thinking about. I say you don't have the time. If something immediately is going to happen and you only have a set amount of time to save someone, you don't have time to say, oh, what are these lives worth? You know, you can't say that. You're just going to say there's less people here. We need to divert it over here. That's my stance on it. Like you usually don't have time to actually think about who you're saving or who you're killing, for that matter.
Quantity over quality.
Basically, yeah, because you don't have time to do quality.
Yeah.
What if? Okay, let's say this. Let's say, would you kill an entire room of all of your friends to save millions of other people?
But that's another thing. Suddenly you get a personal bias into that.
Yeah,
That's a completely different idea. Because one thing is me sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, I'd kill my family" or shit like that. Another thing is me standing in the situation and knowing multiple of my loved friends or family are gonna die. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
but millions are gonna die if you don't end up killing, let's say, Love and me.
I don't know. I can't tell you. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll do this" or "I'll do that."
But what makes our lives more worth?
Because they matter to me. Like millions of people don't matter to me. I don't know them. How am I supposed to value their lives?
Again, but what makes me and Love's life matter more?
Because you matter. No, the thing isn't how much you matter in general. The thing is how much you matter to me. That's a huge difference. It's very subjective.
So your opinion is, if a person matters to you, it has a bigger chance of surviving than a person who you're just in a room with?
What?
Let's say
in a room with, like, you're making this completely different now.
Okay, let's say if it's me and Love in the room,
yes,
you have a higher chance of saving us than two other people in another room.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in that situation.
Because that's suddenly you bring subjective matters into this.
Yeah.
If I'm just if I'm supposed to be objective and I'm in the high role, I wouldn't be able to be in that role anyways, because I can't even do that. I couldn't make that decision. Like, you'd have to be a very objective, and I'm not very objective.
But let's say you're not the person who make the choice. Let's say another person makes the choice and ends up killing me and Loth.
I would have to accept that. If I can't do anything about it, then it's not my fault. I can't do anything about it in the end.
But wouldn't...
Of course, I would have preferred if you two were saved over to other random people. I would have preferred that, sure, but I can't do anything about it in the end.
Yeah, but the guy who ended up killing me and Loth, right? Wouldn't that person be a bad guy because he ended up killing me and Loth?
But he didn't kill you. It wasn't the circumstances you were going to die from something else.
Like, we have a disease that's going to spread if we live. Oh, this is getting weird.
I feel like the disease doesn't really work, but sure. I mean...
No.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. It's
like, most of it doesn't really work because all of it's subjective, and you wouldn't be able to say what you were going to do in the situation. If I have to remain completely objective, I would rather save more people than less. But that's hard to be in a situation.
It's not
you can't always be objective.
But okay, let me read chat a bit. Lynn's talking about overpopulation, so
yeah, I like the comment.
That's not something we should get into right now, because
what's the best way to deal with that? Okay, let's not talk about that.
Overpopulation. I don't believe we can deal with that. Other than limiting people from getting less children.
Well, we are dealing it ourselves because of the climate change.
Yeah. That's not overpopulation. That's the entire human race.
Yeah.
But okay, let me ask you this, Jens. You're in a room.
Yes.
You have two levers.
Yes.
In one room, me and Love is in there.
Yeah.
Another room, there's like 5 other people.
Look, I already told you this doesn't make sense, anyways.
Yeah. Let's just say that.
Because this wouldn't matter, because I can't tell you how I would react in the situation.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Let's say it's not you who pulls the lever. It's another guy who pulls the lever.
Yes.
He ends up killing me and Love.
Don't kill me.
Is he the bad guy in your story?
If you say 5 of other people?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be mad at him, but he wouldn't be the bad guy. Of course I would be mad at him. There's a difference.
Yeah.
He ends up pull both 200 IQ.
No
Jesus
witnesses.
Christ. No witnesses. No one knows what
Wow.
I've done. The problem, Lynn, is this
Shit's
conversation
happening.
doesn't make any sense. Because right now we're talking about what we do in a situation that isn't proposed to us right in this second. So we can't do anything anyways. That's why I'm trying to derail this conversation, kind of. I'm trying to not talk
Yeah.
about it. Because
Next
it doesn't make any
meme.
sense to talk about it.
Also, someone likes my dragons in my head.
That's nice. It's a sticky man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Let me give the answer. You value people you met more than people you haven't met. But that's the
Yep.
thing. I don't do that. Just because I know the person doesn't mean I want to choose them over other people. In my opinion.
Look what Kiara just wrote, right? Smart people way smarter than us have discussed it and already decided you can't know. That's the entire thing I'm trying to say right now. We
Yeah.
shouldn't talk about this because it doesn't make any sense because we aren't in the situation. It doesn't matter. We wouldn't know anyways. Like if we stood from it, like we might have done something else anyways. It's hard to know. So
We call
should we
that
just
big
talk
move.
about should we just talk about the last subject then? Because this
Sure.
Yeah.
whole conversation has just fucked right off.
Shit show.
Okay, so the last one I'm pretty sure is music taste and music making, because I know you make music, Love, and you even do it on
Oh,
stream
wow, it's you.
sometimes.
Did you know? Wow. Oh my god.
Oh wow, I'm such a gamer, you know. I'm such
a gamer, yes. I'm not a gamer. I'm a musician. Oh, I'm a gamer.
Same here, two people.
Kiara, not anymore of this discussion.
When he streams. When I stream. Like every other week.
Matching
Yeah.
stream.
So,
Yeah.
what is there like anything in your music? What is your music taste, Love? Let's start with that.
Music taste. My music taste is, of course, it is superior. Like
Look, you can't even say that. You can't say that. No, I'm gonna cut you off right here, because you believe the Pumped Up Kicks remix is better than the original, and you are not. That's not even subjective. You're just objectively wrong, Lord.
What?
There's a Pumped Up Kicks remix that is worse than the original.
We're just continuing the sentence and discussion we did earlier. Oh my goodness. Okay, so well, I like classical music.
Yes, that's a good category. Or genre.
That's something I grew up with, and it's ingrained in my brain, and I can do it. Like, I also do like listen to some other kind of music as well, but classical music is still the number one that I still enjoy the most.
Mm.
Let's just all agree that Nightcore music sucks.
Nightcore does not. No.
Okay, love. Tell me one good thing about speeding up a song that makes it good.
A Nightcore song.
What makes it good? Like why does speeding it up make it good suddenly?
Well, if the original song is too slow.
But I don't believe any of the original songs are too slow. Also, Lynn is deeply offended
you
by this
listened to-
conversation.
The song is made to be slow.
Yeah, like the whole
that's
point
the
of
whole
this
point.
song is why it's that long, why it's that version, you know? That's also why I usually...
Let's take one of the most biggest fucking Nightcore song, Angel with a Shotgun.
Oh, the Rockefeller Street.
Yeah,
That's
Rockefeller Street. The
The
song is literally meant to be the... You make music yourself.
Yes.
But that also means he has
You're-
subjective opinions about music.
I have objective opinion, of course.
No.
I have
No
the
one has
objective
that.
knowledge.
Let's say you made a song, and people think it was... I don't know how to say it, weren't fast enough? I don't know
It's
the
more
reason-
hype.
But why would you
Is
want
it?
more hype? The song isn't meant to be more hype, technically, if it's like that.
Well, if you take the song Rockefeller Street, it's about partying, so of course it
Yeah.
I just
can be
don't
better
believe...
if it's more hype. It's partying. Yeah.
Oh, have you ever listened to
Hey.
Daft Punk? Have you ever listened to Daft Punk? That's dance music.
Dance faster.
No, it's sometimes Daft Punk is like really slow and like really smooth and shit like that, and that's dance music. Not everything has to be like hyper energetic, you know?
But the thing is,
It's a matter of taste. It's a matter of taste.
Yeah, it is, and that's why we're discussing it right
it's
now.
Pointless.
Everything
it's
is
pointless to discuss about these things.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not pointless.
But that's the thing. Like, what makes you think? Oh, this song is good.
No, it's bad. Classical is better. I am
Yeah.
right.
Let's take a song like "Angel with a Shotgun" and say, you know, this song is good, right? But
Shut
you
up,
know
Percy.
what would be even better if Alvin and the Chipmunks were singing.
No.
It's literally the same.
Very Requiem. That is the best thing ever. Or just the Code Second Waltz. Oh no, you're. Okay, this is going so well.
That's like taking the movie Notebook and like you know how it would be a little bit more hype if I pressed on 2 times more speed.
Yes, double the hype.
Double the hype.
Double the hype.
To be honest, I just believe that some songs shouldn't be sped up because they're not made for that kind of rhythm, you know?
That's true.
Like, I just feel like a lot of Nightcore songs, like, are just bad remixes of songs, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them work well and some of them don't.
Like, I must admit, Rockefeller is better at Nightcore.
Yeah.
Like, the real song isn't that bad, honestly. But it's just better with Nightcore because it makes it a little bit more hype.
Yeah, I just believe that most songs aren't better with Nightcore. I believe some songs can be better, sure. But, like, if I had to choose a song, whether it would be, like, a Nightcore or a remix or the original, I would usually choose the original.
Yeah.
And the remix isn't just because of that one you did, Loth, the fucking Pumped Up Kicks. I just don't like remixes. I believe they are like an inferior version of the song usually. Like, there's very few remixes I listen to, and if it is, it's like something really old usually. Like, I've listened to remixes of Mega Man music, and that sounds a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, talking about, I think, kind of one of the first Nightcore-ish thing was Crazy Frog. In a way,
Kind of, yeah, because it's like altered like the voice.
They altered the voice and kind of the music as well.
And it's like really fast as well, you know?
Yeah. But that was really popular. I just think it's kind of the same with communities of video games.
Yeah.
Some people started, some people ended up liking it, and just some people take it too far.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, of my opinion on Nightcore. Some songs, it's better with Nightcore, like a little bit more sped up.
Yeah.
And some is just unnecessary.
I also believe, like, okay, I'm gonna bring another song into this because there's a song I really don't like when it's what's it called, the not original. It's Mad World by Tears for Fears, I think.
That song is.
I believe that the Gary Jules version is way worse. I don't like it. I don't believe how it like all of it basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad song, but I just believe the original song was way better.
I think if a song is paced to be a soft, sad song, what's the point of like literally just literally hype the entire fucking song up?
Yeah.
Like, Mad World wasn't made to have quickie. It's literally to show emotion. To show the world is in a bad state, kinda.
But it's also made to be kind of psychedelic, you know?
Yeah.
Like the original Mad World is like kind of this weird, like, almost like, it's like just, I don't know the words right now, but I do know that I just forgot them. But it's like the psychedelic experience where it's kind of weird and artsy, you know?
Yeah.
Where the new one is just a sad song. And it just, I don't know.
But the thing about Nightcore, that the Nightcore community has started to be, some of the songs are more, some of the Nightcore remixes are more known than the original song now.
Yeah, but that's what
For
also
example,
what happens.
Angel with a Shotgun. Angel with a Shotgun has more views than the original Angel with a Shotgun.
I had no idea what the original was, and I have heard the Nightcore version before I've heard the original.
Man.
I mean, personally, I believe some sad songs are okay, but I just don't feel like anything that wants to be completely sad and just depressing. Like, I believe the lyrics can be, because you can always ignore the lyrics and just listen to the song. But I believe that sad songs are basically like, I don't feel like being sad just because I'm watching it or listening to it rather. Then I would rather like listen to something happy or something like upbeat or some shit like that.
I didn't even see Max was here.
Yeah, Max is here. Hi, Max. But I love sad songs. I think that's a very finished thing to have a melancholy feeling.
I mean, I must admit, like some songs I like the covers of. I'm pretty sure Ailstorm has done some covers that I like, Også det også someone
A good cover of a sad song that it literally makes it sound like it's a totally different song by themselves. Disturbed, Sound of Silence.
Wait, isn't that the opposite of one?
No, Disturbed made a cover of Sound of Silence.
Yeah, and I believe that's still pretty sad.
Yeah, but it
The
sounds
Disturbed
so
one.
different from the original.
Yeah, and to be honest, I actually don't like the Disturbed cover.
I mean,
that's just personal preference, though.
yeah, I know, but the Disturbed one is way more dramatic and more. How can I say it?
God damn it, Loth. What are you doing? Jesus.
More dragons.
No, you don't need more dragons. You're doing a fucking podcast. Goddamn gamer. This
Yes, Love is promoting
bad.
bad drag. Yes.
That's his waifu over there. It actually has like a flashlight.
Yes,
installed in
50% off with the code LOTH.
That's quite a big discount.
Yo, so no,
no.
We're talking about music now.
Subject of today is Love a Furry.
It's Loth Furry. What is Yif Loth? Is that not one of the things you told me to get into?
Oh, of course. Right.
What's a furry, Loth?
What's a furry?
What is Yif? No, start with Yif. Start with Yif. We'd rather have the Yif first.
Yif is adult content of anthropomorphic animals, also known as furry porn.
Thank you, Loth.
There you go.
Can you put a little bit more details in it?
No more details.
It's
I
don't think
it's
there's
fine.
like.
Yif is a cleaning product, that's true, Len. Can we get a shout out to
Oh yeah, like you can also get like Jif, like peanut butter. That's all the J though, but it's still almost the same.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know? What's a furry?
What's a murloc?
No, it's a murloc. Love got a dragon body pill and show where the bad furry touch you.
I don't know if we should talk about making music or furries or
We just totally got derailed from it.
Yeah, we're talking about music.
Alright, did you say GIF or GIF, by the way? That's a good question from Kiara. What do you guys say?
Oh, that's true. My name is Jeff.
My name is GIF. What do you say, Loth? What do you say, GIF or GIF?
So, Loth, you just joined the new choir, right?
What the fuck? Is everyone just gonna ignore my question?
It's not relevant to our subject.
Nothing is relevant anyways. We're talking about fucking furries a second ago.
Yeah, that's why I'm derailing it back to the fucking subject.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, about the choir.
So what kind of music do you do in the choir?
It's a church choir, isn't it?
Choral music.
Oh, okay.
Music is sing. Wow. It's fun. I still haven't gotten like any word from them. But
Oh, okay.
My father called me. What?
Nightcore choir.
Can you give us a sample of what you're...
Oh, okay. Apparently I got accepted.
Oh,
you just got accepted right now or what?
Yeah, they added me to a group. Okay,
It's because they saw you on this podcast, was like, wow.
Oh, like this guy is famous. We need to know a choir, you know.
Yeah. I have already been in a choir, and it's a good choir as well. I already am a part in, and this is a second choir I'm joined.
But you're gonna use the first
both
one?
of these, I feel like I'm going to, because it's such a bad time for me to be like Mondays at all.
Yeah.
And, other things as well. What I was going to talk about, the choirs are affiliated with churches, and we do assist in a bit of masses sometimes, like twice a year or 3 times a year, but mostly we're just going to practice sing songs for concerts and such, and some of that.
Is it in Finnish?
It's in Finnish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
We just sample Loth, like Kwani said earlier.
Sample?
Yeah. Like, sing something you would sing, just a small one, just like...
Ah!
10 to 20 seconds each.
Yeah.
Right. Bist du bei mir, geh mit Freuden, zum Sterben und zu meine Ruhe. Suchen, sterben und so meine Ruhe. Yeah, that's some Bach. Also, that one note was a bit sharp there. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Perfect.
No,
Absolute perfection.
Now we have a video of Lost singing our podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna use it to blackmail you later. Don't worry.
I can also sing other things like Chesnikov.
I think you just killed 3 animals with that. Or
Uh,
did he just revive 3 animals with that?
Yeah, I would say he revived 3 animals.
Love is our little angel.
Angel.
Little angel, we were.
Little angel. Right.
It's our little dragon angel.
Little dragon angel with small dragon wings.
Oh,
Flying
hello.
over this dragon
There's
shield.
a furry species. Dutch angel dragon is actually a species.
I think Seth
In
has
the
talked
furry
about that
world.
one. I think I already know that one, unfortunately.
Nice.
Well,
you might.
Let's
Let's not talk about furries now. No. Music. Music. Let's talk about last Tuesday.
I mean,
Dutch music is nice. No, Lynn, I love Dutch music, and I also no. I was going to talk about the audition I had to do.
Oh.
Exciting
Cool.
news. A choir audition.
you
How
know where
was
you
I
can
went
show
there?
this podcast to, Loth?
What?
Choir girl.
Choir girl. She's not here.
No, that's how you can show it to her when we upload it to YouTube.
No.
Keep this segment in as well.
No.
What?
No.
Alright.
Or what?
Music taste. You said you like classical music.
Yeah.
Wow,
Is
do
there
you know
specific reason-
Mozart? What's his
Specific
most
reason I
5?
grew up with it.
It's because you grew up with it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it happens.
Yeah.
What's the best 5 symphonies by Mozart, Loth?
Best
Since you
symphony
like
from-
classical
Yeah, Jens has
music.
just gone into a meme mode now.
Ah. Well, Mozart is a bit early for my taste. So I'd have to say Sibelius fine.
Yeah.
Some Finnish passages I do like. The romantic period lots more than classical or baroque period. So Ante Sibelius is one of my favorite composers. I do of course like some Bach from time to time, like the what I sang Bist du bei mir, and also the Christmas oratory I performed last Christmas with my current choir, and yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about.
You were talking about the music.
Music. Wow, thank you. I thought I was talking about fairies again.
Oh, we're talking about why is it that you like classical music so much?
Yeah, it's something I grew up with.
Yeah.
And quite a lot of my siblings have played some kind of instruments. My twin sister plays the cello. Quite a lot play the guitar and the piano, such as me as well. And also, there's also some flutes there as well, like the orchestral flutes. I have some kind of recorders and flutes here. I didn't know it was interesting, and yeah.
Yeah.
One of my sister was organist as well, but yeah.
What about you, Jens? What's your favorite kind of music?
80s music.
Can you be more specific? Because there's a lot of different genres from the 80s.
80s pop music.
80s pop music.
Like Living in
Yeah.
a Box. What's he called? Wait. Howard Jones is pretty good as well. I mean, it's hard to say right now, but I like a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of popular 80s music. I don't know. I like a lot of just different music. I also like a lot of metal sometimes. Ailstorm is pretty good.
Nice.
I'm really into music that I think they're called psychedelic music. Stuff like Radiohead, stuff like Pink Floyd. Stuff I love that
Is that
stuff.
really
Like
psychedelic?
Pink Floyd is super psychedelic.
I mean, I like more
Is it?
I mean, have you heard this song? What's it called? Daydream in Blue. That's really psychedelic.
yeah. But Comfortably Numb is like, of course, one of the most known songs. But it's for me, it's kind of like going on an adventure whenever I listen to it. It's like, yeah. Pink Floyd is super psychedelic.
I don't listen much to Pink Floyd anyways. I don't really like that.
Yeah,
music.
me neither.
It's good, in
I
my
like
opinion.
it's,
I mean,
it's very
that's why I like it.
popular, but like,
Oh,
I've just never gotten into it. Telling lies on stream.
Nah.
Jesus Christ, Carl, that's a long one.
Yeah.
I feel like we should end soon as well, because we've been going on for 1 hour and 20 minutes at least.
I think we're just gonna end it off now.
Yeah, we are gonna see if we can't find someone to raid. So you guys can keep talking for a little bit, and I'm gonna
Love,
look at.
where are we able to find you?
Where? In Finland?
No.
Bruh.
Like your Twitch handle, your everything.
My Twitch
I know
channel. My Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Littleflash. And of course, I do have a YouTube channel, and of course, a SoundCloud link as well. And they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah. So go follow Love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
that's
follow
nice,
me, and
Go
maybe
follow
maybe I'll stream.
And it should be said, if you guys are a streamer or someone that we know, I guess,
Yeah.
you can always DM us and talk about if you want to go on the podcast, you know?
Yeah, Lynn.
Why are you singling Lynn out? She already said she wanted to a while ago.
Because Lynn is nice.
Yeah.
I like Lynn.
We know that.
Or if you want to have a subject
Oh.
of me of Jens can discuss an hour about and derail
Yeah.
totally.
Join my Discord if you want that. Look, I'm gonna
I
just
want to pod your
Nice.
cast. Thanks,
here you
Garrett.
go. Join the
Nice.
Discord here if you want it. If you want to post suggestions, or just join my community thing. Kamani also has a Discord and his own Twitch stream, of course.
Yeah.
So you can go follow him on twitch.tv/KamaniBoy.
Me as well.
What?
And
We've already
Yeah.
talked about you though, Lord. We can't keep talking about you. So,
but thank you for listening for me and complaining about stuff. And Jens complaining
and talking about
stuff.
time travel and talking about intense dilemmas on who we would kill and stuff like that.
That was enjoyable.
This has been the Smoking Murloc. Thanks for listening.